Okay, this is the, I had asked Sue, our broker from United Healthcare. She sat next to me at this meeting. You know, there's not that many people there that are key brokers, and I was really taking notes as fast as I possibly could, because a lot of times, you know, they won't give out the slides because they don't want the other carriers to get them and understand all of their research that they've done. So knowing that, I was sitting there taking notes, and then Sue, she said, "Oh, don't take that one down." She said, "I'll just send you the slide." Well, she sent me through their secure portals. All the links were dead, but so I went through there and we did the best we could with building this. What I'm going to do after this is email each and every one of you the map to all of the counties and states that subsidy or non-subsidized business will be available in. And just remember this going forward. I think this will make your day. Subsidized business or non-subsidized business will be paid exactly the same as it is today on time frame. Now, subsidized business may drop a point or two in commission. We haven't had that yet. They're going to try to have all of the commissions done by the end of this month, they told me. But as far as advances, paying commissions, United Healthcare is going to wait for the government. They actually use the word trust the government to pay them later. And they're going to advance us ahead of time, all of us and all of you agents. So everyone laughed when they said trust the government. So it was a room full of that going back and forth. So first enrollment in 2014, we went through there. It was sheer hell and havoc, as we all know. We kind of stayed off the exchange as a United broker, and they wanted to find out and let all the others make all the mistakes and really buy up that bad blocks of business that probably next year in 2015, all those people are going to be in for a heck of a shock on rate increases. So here's the enrollment by age. You can see the 18 to 34 is 24%, 35 to 54, 37% of the business, and 55 to 64 was 33% of the business. There were only 8,062,894 million enrollees that enrolled in 2014 off of healthcare.gov. The next enrollment, according to United, is expected to grow by another 5 million enrollees. And of the 8 million that are already on board, they expect 30% of that to churn in business. So for all of us, that is a great thing who are out there marketing. So if you have 30% of the 8 million churning and you're enrolling another 5 million people, the reason we left this slide up there is I think it would behoove you to try to have a booth or a storefront or someplace where you can really represent yourself. Have someone standing out by the street, how they do at the furniture stores, the tax H&R blocks, saying get your taxes done here. We'll have your own sign. Subsidized Obamacare enrollment, free of charge right here. So, and direct them into your office and enroll, enroll, enroll. United does not care whether you send in subsidized business or on an off-exchange business. They're going to handle it the same. So one of the deals that, I'm going to back it up in just a moment, they said that the Latino community was very highly underrepresented in the past enrollment. So, you know, you may look to that market, and we'll get into that just a little bit here. Going forward, the middle income America is now the growing uninsured, according to United. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Middle income, they cannot qualify for a subsidy, and they can't afford the new premiums. So they're probably most likely going to remain your short-term major medical customer or a limited benefit plan customer as well. So the middle income, that's where they're going to be seeing those that have the most problems on the middle income. The lower, if we get too low, those are Medicaid enrollment eligible. So you want to hit just above the lowest and just, or off exchange above the middle income, which people that in that bracket can afford the premiums. Right now, transitioning from group to individual plans is happening much, much faster than anyone ever anticipated. Some employers are really dumping their group plans now, faster than ever expected, into the ACA market. 14% of consumers purchased a plan through the exchange and that were not subsidy eligible. So that isn't a whole lot. I guess if you look at the overall picture, right now would be the time to figure out your game plan of either doing subsidized and non-subsidized business. I was actually looking at an office this weekend down in downtown Dallas, and I also looked at one in Denton for the Dallas area. There are just so many locations that I look at that are in prime areas. For me, it's a little, I don't want to say overwhelming. It's almost, I don't want to say a game either, but I look at what is the best move for agents to be in, to just sit there with signs and enroll, and have advances coming their way. So and commissions. So it's a great thing. I see moving forward. The off-exchange plan has a higher persistency rate than the on-exchange plans, as we well know. The on-exchange plans are likely to have a less plan retention. They are also required to qualify for a subsidy each year. The subsidy will be based on the second lowest price silver plan. So we're going to probably be going over a lot of this in training. United has 3 groups assigned where we're going to be doing certification is number 1. All of you need to be certified prior to the end of this month, or you will not even be able to, when you go into your links or into your computer, you won't be able to see the subsidized rates, the plans, the subsidy calculator. Nothing will be visible to you unless you go into that link that we've sent out several times. We'll send it again today and certify, and then send that in to United. And if you just send it in here to Amanda, we will make sure that it goes to all the carriers so that you're certified with everyone. United Healthcare short term, the sales increased by 300%, amazingly, from 8 of 2013 to 8 of 2014, 300%. And they expect short term will continue to be the market disruptor due to the price, the availability, and the need. They are going to continue with the bonus structure that is going on right now moving forward, which makes it a very, very, very attractive program moving forward. Premiums for 2015 on the healthcare plans that are in place now in 14 are likely to really, really skyrocket. The risk pools are worse than they ever expected, with losses worse. 63% of age 41 and older are really bad. 42% of the age 50 to 64, are in bad shape as well. So they're looking at really high premium rate increases for our competition out there who was on the exchange last year. So as you know, a lot of our United Healthcare plans, and we have those available, and when we send out the map to you on all the states and all the counties they're going to be in, I'll include that with it. The decision drivers for buyers today is price. The poorer areas, go there and target those customers. Like I said, don't go down to where you're in the Medicaid, where they can enroll for Medicaid, because of course we're not offering those products. Look for the storefront, the booths, or order more leads to get you in touch with more people. Either way you go, on exchange or off exchange is great for us and for you and for United. So off exchange, United is going to be in 26 states. On exchange, they're going to be in 32 states. The exchange is going to go down to the county level. And here's an example. In Texas, they're going to be targeting 22 counties within Texas for on-exchange business. Targeting getting all the right now they're targeting getting all the representatives appointed and certified for on or off exchange business. That is the main focus right now for United, to make sure each and every one of you have your certifications in so that you can sell subsidized business going forward. Because I think really last year we stayed off the exchange. This year we're going to hit it in a big way. So you need to be able to go either way, so that you can really take in every application for every person you see. If not certified for they're calling it FFM now, when it was called the market exchange. They've changed the wording of it a couple of times. You won't be able to see the plans or rates or subsidies, so get certified. And United Healthcare 1 is filing 461 plan versions of the on and off exchange plans. So they want to be available with a plan for every need and every person that's out there. 65% of last year's sales were silver plans. So remember, the subsidy is based off of the second lowest price silver plan too. eStore, ACA quoting will begin on November the 15th. We, as all the key brokers sat there, we said, well, wait a minute, if you're going to turn it on November the 15th, we get that, but we need to be able to practice and get this down, because a lot of people work over the internet and over the web and make sure that they understand how to quote it, submit it, do the calculation, and all that. We were actually given examples at the meeting of the screen, the calculator, what it looks like. It looks to be very simple, but I asked Sue for that slide, and when she gets back to her office, we're going to have those slides available for you guys to see. I said, I don't think it's fair, Sue, and this was just my thought. I said, we want to be the strongest in the industry, but so if the whole thing opens on November 15th, and we're waiting until November 15th to let people see how to do it, that's not fair. I think, not that it's fair, it's just not smart business. We need to be able to practice and know what's going on. Practice makes perfect, and make eStore, the estimator, the tax credit, the subsidy, the online calculator, make that all available ahead of time so that we can all make sure that we're good at it. They don't have a preference for the sales of on or off exchange. Sell either one. We're going to have the same payroll, the same procedures as today, and we're going to still pay daily here at National Insurance for on or off exchange business, which that is a biggie right there. Here's a big, just one of the Intel things that I noted down on my notes. Say, I said human. Intel is meant to say Humana in Florida is moving all ACA business to all ACA business due to bad loss ratios on the books. So coming in January, all of that business that's on the books collecting renewals will be moved to new plans, which with United we have, it goes by state of how long they can keep their old plans and keep, because they like their blocks of business that are underwritten on the books, and they're trying to keep them as long as they can. So moving forward, United Health One is going to have one of the strongest footprints on the market in the United States. They have the largest portfolio of short-term offerings on the market. They just released Generation 3 short-term with a new 5th plan. I have that as well. I'm going to email that to you, and we may just go into it here in a few minutes on the internet, but you can all do that on your own. They're coming out with a new per cause product. It's coming soon. I looked at it. I liked it. It's very, very affordable. And I thought, this per cause plan pays in addition to an ACA plan. So if you went with a little bit higher deductible on the ACA plan and you packaged with it a per cause plan, which as soon as I get the availability to have some training on that per cause plan, I want to show it to you. It's only approved in 3 states, but as we sat there, they announced that they got it approved in 4 more states. So they're really moving forward with some new plans to make our entire United portfolio. As you know, there's critical illness, there's dental, there's disability, there's accident, there's life. Everything that you need is right there on the eStore, and they have the largest ancillary disability, critical illness, dental portfolio in the market, as they said, which others might disagree. But Last year, United Health One stood back and they watched. They wanted to watch and see who made mistakes, who didn't make mistakes, who did well in the market, and try to learn from some of that stuff. So this year, United Health One is going to make an aggressive push with a well thought out plan moves on the year. They're offering top commissions with no changes in payroll. And again, it's the same day for subsidy or non-subsidized applications. And the key is to bundle, bundle, bundle. So I already mentioned this. We have Bob Grubb in marketing. We have Caitlin Brown starting in accounting today. And in the office with me now is Cody Hogan, who is in marketing as well, and Vanessa Chavez, who handles all sorts of things for me. I email her a lot. She wears a lot of hats. And then Amanda is always getting a lot of... You do a lot of hats too, Amanda.
Yeah.
They're my two go-to girls. So, as Shannon used to call, she was my at the office wife when she used to work here. So I would actually have them called so much. But I've learned one thing over the years is if you let people handle too many things for you, you forget how to do them. So I hope all of you realize I am back in the seat, I'm back in charge, and there isn't much going on around here that I don't know how to do. And so I like it that way. We're going to continue with a very, very aggressive approach. We're sitting in a very good position right now financially as an agency, and we're ready to move forward. Next week, on Monday and Tuesday, I will be at the Assurance Convention. Assurance kind of got a little smart on their deal, and this is probably what we're going to do when we go to Las Vegas next month. We, as an agency, we're going to try to get some of you top producers and all the producers that want to go and meet us in Las Vegas and have Assurance there and United Health, Manhattan, some of the other carriers to be there as well. But Assurance got to where they kind of fly everybody in on Sunday to Dallas-Fort Worth, and then they put everybody up at the hotel there, and then they have the meeting the next day, and then they fly everybody out. So it's kind of an in, meet, learn everything, fly out, and makes it pretty economical for the company to do. And unfortunately, I don't get to go anywhere, so I have to, since I live here, it's not much of a trip for me to the airport. But next week, I also want to revisit our indemnity plans. The laws as I read them and as we interpret them for most of the indemnity carriers are, if you offer an ACA plan and you have the same indemnity plan or have an indemnity plan available, you have to sell them both. You can't just sell them the indemnity plan without them saying, yes, I have an ACA plan. So, but for those carriers that do not have an ACA plan, they are eligible to still market those from what they're telling us. So moving forward, we'll know more about that. So before I go into any questions, I wanted to go into one more. Can you go to the PowerPoint of the other one? We did a little PowerPoint. We've tried to show it to you a couple of times, and I did it once on a new agent training. And this is for agents. I actually went around and I looked for opportunities where I thought would be good for us to have offices here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for top sales. Step one was find a location. There are places all over the place. I mean, in Denton, I went over near the movie tavern where everybody goes, and they watch great movies and eat and drink while they're watching a movie. There are so many storefronts open and for lease. There's no way that I probably could not call that owner and get one for about 3 to 4 months without having to sign a long-term lease. Look for locations in the medium to low-income areas. Don't go too low, as I said before, because then they would qualify for Medicaid. But look for anchors who've planned out their demographics, like ACE check cashing, H&R Blocks, all the extended stay hotels. A lot of those companies have really planned out their demographics of where they're located. Locations with high foot traffic, where you can actually put signs out on the sidewalk with an arrow. Come step inside for open enrollment, subsidized Obamacare plans. And try to negotiate only for a 6-month lease or less, or month by month. I think that would be smart. You know, I was listening to some of the agents talk about, doing a year's lease. I think that's probably, unless you just need an office, a bad choice. I was listening to one of our competing MGAs say that they actually had one they were doing a 3-year lease on, and I thought, oh, that's crazy. I wouldn't do that unless I just needed an office. But
I think
anyway.
3 or 6 months with an option would be the best way to go. That way you can determine by the amount of business that you have coming in whether it's possible to extend the lease.
I agree. I mean, I actually think that the 3 to 6 month option is the way to go, because after open enrollment is over, United is telling us that there's probably still going to be a big market going forward in the short-term arena, because as we said, if they don't qualify for a subsidy, there's a huge gap there of people who do not qualify.
Well, plus next year the market's going to explode, and the non-qualified limited benefit plans because of the cost factors.
Well, that's true. And also, the market is going to explode because United says that they have to call all of their indemnity people and ask them, do you have an ACA plan? Or send them a letter. If they say no, they have to cancel their indemnity plan. Now, with Assurant, they have the Health Access Plan. We have not heard anything like that from Assurant. In fact, we've been told that they're going to let them keep their access plans. So I will find out next Monday and Tuesday and let you know on that. The basic need for any little shop that you open up, it doesn't need to be pretty by any means. It doesn't need to be fancy by any means. You are doing a service, and I'm sure we've all been to those operations where they have maybe tax service or something where it's nothing pretty by any means. The furniture looks like it came from, I don't know if there is any furniture. There's a desk, and all you need is a laptop, and sign people up and make a lot of money. And you're doing a great service for them. But don't forget your farmers markets, your state fairs. There's a big the Texas State Fair is coming up here in Texas. However, I looked at the dates. We were looking at putting a booth there, and I looked at the dates. It's actually a little bit before open enrollment even begins. So I thought we would be wasting about $20,000 by doing that booth by only simply gathering leads. And I don't think, I thought, personally, if I were at the fair with my family, eating corn dogs or drinking beer and having a good time, do I really want to sit down and talk about insurance? I might give my name and number and take a lead, but I don't think I would really want to do the rest. So that was just my thought on it. But if you look at the Tractor Supplies, the Walgreens, CVS's, they're always letting somebody sit out front. And I can't tell you how many times I've gone into CVS or Walgreens and they've tried to sell me Girl Scout cookies and popcorn and all this different kind of stuff. And I thought, good Lord, I feel like I've been through a flea market before I even got in the store. But if it's different when it's us and we're trying to sell something. So don't forget the farmers markets and the trade shows and the flea markets. I passed the big flea market up in Denton this weekend, and I thought, there's the perfect place. I mean, it is the demographic we're looking for. And the booths are about $40. So this is an old sign that I found, Blue Cross Blue Shield. I don't know how many of you might remember in the back of all the old Sears buildings, they had an Allstate table back there with an agent signing up Allstate for home and car and life. But you don't forget the most important is proper signage, free subsidized enrollments for heart, and then offering heart, cancer, stroke, accident, dental, and final expense. There's all sorts of indoor sales bazaars going on all over the place, all the time. You just got to prepare for it. And just drive around your town, look for locations where you can see space needs to be filled, and they have high foot traffic or visibility, and then try to make your move on setting up your position in this market. If you're going to use our lead sources or your own lead sources, great. If not, you might try both. You can rent a fast sign, trade show booth, backdrop very inexpensively. I know back years ago, Bob and I went on a tour, and everywhere, I think that's what hurt my back when I don't know. Remember that booth was in that box and was lugging that thing off and on the planes? And I thought, good grief, this thing is really heavy. However, you're not going to be on a plane traveling with it every day like we were. So, but you can go to Fast Sign. You can rent a really cool looking, if you look over there to the top right, it has lights on the top. Ours had the same thing. And we just rented the stuff from Fast Sign back then, years ago, and we still got over there on the corner some of the signage that went on it. On the back side is all that
For
Velcro.
$25, you can still get those signs that you put on the car.
Yeah.
I guarantee, I sold 100 deals, but just haven't had on my car through the years.
Well, in today's traffic, I was telling Cody, I think the back window of the cars is the way to go, because today, it took me an hour to get here. I mean, but I wrote down a number on the back of this truck because I thought, wow, that truck sure is clean, and it said mobile auto detailing. And I wrote it down because I'm going to call them so that they can come here and clean my car. And so, but it is a great way to advertise. And so you see a lot of these ladies that are doing something called Scentsy or something. They're all advertising on the back of their cars. I guess, the Mary Kay women, you see all them with the pink cars. They don't put their signage on their cars though, which is a little strange to me. You notice their car, but you think they'd have their number on there. My mother used to sell Avon, believe it or not, when I was a kid, and I used to drive her around. And I was too young to drive, but she would let me drive. And in little towns, in my childhood years, it was a little different from it is today. My dad would actually tell me to take the car, which I wanted to drive bad, and I was about 14, 15, but we knew how to drive early on. And he would say, go down to the store and get me a 6-pack of Slits and a pack of cigarettes. And I'd say, okay. Oh, and he said, put $1 worth of gas in the car. So back then, $1 worth of gas was about 5 gallons, I think. And so I'd say, okay, give me the money. And I'd run down there, and they knew this. I guess the laws weren't like they were today. Of course, they knew it was from who it was for, and they knew who we were, or my dad, or whatever. So I'd get the beer, get the cigarettes, get the gas, and drive back home. And of course, I would maybe take a few blocks extra spin around the area while I had the car out.
You actually ordered 7 beers.
Yeah, but entrepreneurship has gone on forever. If you look at back then when my mom was selling Avon door to door, she was her own employer. She had her own business. If she maybe would have had some signs on the car, she might have had more business. If she would have been smart and made us kids go up and down the street and put door things hanging on the doors, that would have even been smarter. But, you live and learn. And right now we are learning hard and heavy, and we're trying to teach you the best that we can from National Insurance to be the best that you can be. I think I have replaced staff with some of the most highly qualified, highly experienced, nicest, easiest to work with people that you could ever imagine working with. And I hope you enjoy the people that work here. I certainly do. And there were days in the past I didn't even want to come to work. I didn't like it. I didn't like being here. The atmosphere just seemed dreary to me, and I think even the girls here can attest to. I don't know. Do y'all notice a change?
Yeah, definitely.
It seems like everyone's having a good time. We're trying to make sure that everybody's making a good living and learning and getting their appointments set up, and everything's moving along really quickly. So with a well-thought-out plan and motivation to pay you well, you will do well. You look for how to make your business the best it can be. Here again is rent a sign from Fast Signs. And one of the tricks that one of my other fellow MGAs said, they were taking referrals, and they would give a $10 Walmart gift card. But use the signage to direct people in your cars to foot traffic to your booth or to your storefront. And I put that one in the middle. It said medical marijuana. I actually didn't even notice that it said marijuana until somebody said, why'd you put that medical marijuana in the middle? I said, to be honest, I don't think I even had my glasses on and could read it. But I said,
sales are easier.
But, maybe if you had a medical marijuana store along with a subsidized health plan store, you might do pretty well. I don't know. It's a crazy world now. I was watching Fox News where it said that you can actually use your government, I guess it's welfare is it food stamps to buy medical marijuana, and so and they can't stop it or something. I don't know, but that's interesting. But I really try not to pay attention to the news anymore. Even the stuff that comes across my computer from Newsmax or from Glenn Beck or all that other stuff, I just delete it. I cannot get lost and caught up in all that political crap. My job is to make money for this company, make this the strongest company in the business, and make you as much money and make you one of the strongest agents in the industry, agents or agencies or managers. And if your desire is to have an agency with multiple agents underneath you, we have formulas for that. And so calling in and talking to Bob would be probably, I'm thinking of a couple of you that I talked with last week that want to use the management system with pods of five agents under 5 districts, under 5 areas, under 5 regions. It works. And Bob is one of the masters at that. Where we kind of got away from even having the term manager on our commission statements, we have moved back into that arena. So be seen and be ready for mass enrollment. You know, you have to pull sometimes the ambulance up to the door. You know, people don't think about final expense. Every time I drive down the road and I see a hearse, I think, oh my God, that's bad luck. You know, something's going to happen. But it's life. You know, my mom is in the age and era where a lot of her friends are passing away. And she went to another funeral this weekend. And sometimes I wonder, good grief, is that all you do or have time for? But unfortunately, when you get into a certain age, and you know, look at Joan Rivers. I mean, that woman was going for it in her career and just went in for a simple surgery and probably never imagined in a million years that she would have what happened to her. But thankfully in her case, probably a very wealthy woman, but there's many times where I know some of our employees like Shannon and Smith and the other girl that worked here, they had nothing. Their mother had nothing, and we helped pay for their funeral. So a lot of times families do have to get together and help pull money to pay for funerals. So, you know, talk about it. Ask those questions. And for less than maybe, you know, 75 cents a dollar a day or even less, they can have final expense to help put them away and take that burden off the family. You know, when my own dad died, we were scrambling, not for the cash, we were scrambling because we thought they already had plots in place. We were scrambling to buy plots. And so that was, you know, the hard part for us boys to try to figure out, you know, we thought that was done, some of it, and it wasn't done, so we had to do it really quickly. But be seen, be creative, to draw in your consumers. Signs like this, or just Google image if you're confused about Obamacare, get your questions answered here and enroll now. Get ready, get covered, welcome to the marketplace. So we just put these up there for you to see. Every agent should be writing about 30 to 40 subsidized applications a day if you're in the right spot and if you have the right leads. And this is coming from one of my fellow MGAs out of Florida. You're going to work long hours. You'll be paid really well. You can partner with some of your downline agents to help you build your business or your team or pay for the storefront. Make sure your laptop computer is very fast and have your plans and your products ready to go. And remember, if you are going to sit there and spreadsheet with, you know, Cigna, Humana, Aetna, United, Assurant, it's confusing. I think if you stick with the primary 2 that's going to pay you the best and pay you the best advances, Assurant and United, it would be the smartest move you ever made, because I will promise you I'm going to come back from the Assurant convention next week and their rates are probably going to be some of the lowest in the market. And they have great service, and they're a excellent rated company. So is United. Both of their networks are probably 2 of the strongest in the business, and they are portable, where they can take their plans with them from state to state, say if the consumer moves. Whereas if you're with a, example, Blue Cross of Texas or a Blue Cross of California and you move, you then have to reapply and re-subsidize and re-qualify. That's another triggering event, and we, you know, it's just a pain. So know your supplemental products, know the dental products. United just released the Gen 2 dental product, which has a much, much higher compensation rate for dental and vision, and we're going to go over that probably. I'll let you know. I'm trying to wait for Sue to get me these slides. She had to send a lot of them from her cell phone, which she's still out on another assignment. But strategize to set your goals. And here are some of the stores to look for. Big Lots, the Walmarts, Ace Check Cashing, auto insurance agencies, PCS mobile phone stores. They've really done their homework on where to be. The dollar stores and the Dollar Trees. Those are really good places to have a storefront. There's a lot of foot traffic at a Big Lot or at dollar stores, as we know. And I don't know if any of you kind of watch, Target, for example, is having some financial problems because the Target stores were targeting kind of the upper echelon of the shopper with a higher end product. Well, in today's world where people are struggling, to make ends meet, higher premiums, higher gas prices, and the market's just kind of gone to hell in a handbag, Walmart and the dollar stores are still the biggest sales outlets. So try to set yourself up there and understand that the price drives all.